What's up guys, Deadbird here, and today I'll be showing you guys my simple dialogue system that I've been working on, and it comes with a little character creator too. It's not 100% complete yet, but I wanted to show you guys a little sneak preview of it, and once it's fully complete, I'll be putting it on the Unity Asset Store for you guys to use. Alright, so let's go take a look at the character creator. So I just go to the top, hit VN Maker, which stands for Visual Novel, hit Create Character, and here we have our little simple character creator. I'm just going to put the name because this is just an example, and the default portrait. So I just hit this button and it'll browse the sprites in my project. And here we have my casual smile, and this will be my default. Now let's say our character has a lot of different emotions and outfits. What if I want to be able to see that in my game? Well, we can just hit add new portraits, and we can put as many as you want here. See, it'll just make a scroll, and you can make as many as you want or as little as you want. You can delete them too. And let's say I just want 3 more. So I have her smiling here. What if I want her frowning? So I can just go over and select the frowning one, and I can just call this frown. And let's say she has different outfits. Let's say she has a gym outfit. What if I want to see that one? Well, I can go over and go to the gym one and say she's smiling in her gym one. So I can just say gym smile. And then let's say we want her to be frowning in her gym outfit. And I can just go to gym frown. And I can just call this gym frown. And so now that I'm done with all of this, I can save this character off. And so I hit this little button, save character, and I'll ping it. And here it is. This is your character you created. And let's say I clear the data and I don't want to see this anymore. But what if I want to go back and edit this character? Well, there's a little load character in editor here. And it'll just reload the character with all the information that you put in. And this is blank because I didn't have any information in it, so it's just left blank. Let's say I wanted to edit this character. I want to change her age to 17. I wanted to set her favorite food to pizza. I can just resave it. And then let's say I clear the data. And oops, I lost all my data here, but I can reload it. And here she is. Now she's 17 and her favorite food is pizza. So we can easily update and load characters that way. Alright, so let's go take a look at our Dialog Maker. So we go over to VN Maker, create dialog, and we have a new graph here. And we have a little mini map that we can just put over here. We can anchor it if we want, so that it doesn't move. And then this is our start node. So in our start node, we can set the default background and the default music that plays. So let's just set the default background first, and we can just put it to the futon room. And then the default music, we can just put it to this one. Alright, so there's a couple things we need to break down first. The first part is the character list here and the file of the graph here. So this is going to be the file name when I save it. So I should name it something more appropriate. I'll name it YouTube. And we have our character list here. And when I add a new character, these characters are going to be in the dialogue scene. So to be very mindful of what I add. So I'm going to add first our character we just created called Miku, and I have a secondary character called Rin that I created off screen. And so these are the 2 characters that are going to be within our scene now. So the next part is the node creation process. So if I right click, hit create node, I get a list of possible nodes I can create. So I have the options node where you have dialogue where it branches off into different options. Or I have the normal one where it just transitions into another node. The background transition node will change the background, and the music transition node will obviously change the music. So let's go with the normal one first. And here we have the space where we can put our dialogue, or the text I should say. And then we have these 2 drop down fields here. The first one is the character one. So I have the list of characters that I can choose from. And the possible characters that you can choose from is based off of the character list over here. And so if I got rid of Rin, you'd see that Rin is no longer available. I can just add her back, and she will be here again. So I have the choice between the narrator, Miku, or Rin. So I'll just go ahead and select Miku, the character we just created, and in the second drop-down menu, we have all the profiles that she has access to. So if I click on the gym smile one, she changes into her gym clothing. Or I can just set it back to default. And if I go over to Rin, we have Rin here, and we have access to her specific profiles now. So I can hit summer outfit, and she changes into her summer outfit. So now that we can create nodes, let's see how we can connect them. Fortunately for us, it's really simple. All you have to do is click and hold and drag this over to the node that you want to, into the input field, and then the nodes are now connected. Okay, so I set up some dialogue here, and we can now see how this all works in action. So I'm going to save this data, and it's going to ping it in my project, and now I can close this, and if I want, I can load it again, and so we have our dialogue graph here, but I don't want to do that just yet. And so I'm going to go over to my special script here, and I'm going to drag in my example. And so all this script does is that it plays the graph whenever I hit play. Alright, so I'm going to hit play, and I'll let you guys see the magic, and I'll comment afterwards. So just like that, within just a couple of minutes, we were able to set up a super simple dialogue scene. Alright, so let's break down and see what happens. And so when I hit play, the characters fade in and they animate a little bit. We have some moving text, and we have the speaker. They have a little nameplate beneath them so you know who's talking, but also the characters who are not talking are dimmed out a little bit. And so there's more emphasis on the character who is talking. So I've hit next, you see that she becomes highlighted, and then she becomes dulled out a bit. And then the nameplate goes over to her. And then if I hit next again, this is the narrator talking, so both characters are dimmed out, and there is no nameplate. So that's how you know the narrator is talking. And then when I hit the next one, there is no new dialogue, so it just fades out and we're back to normal again. Alright, so I'm going to go over to my YouTube graph here. I'm going to load dialogue, and we see that we have all of our settings that we had before. So let's go and explore the other types of nodes that we can create. I'm just going to move down over here, and I'm going to create a background transition node and a music transition node. So these two are fairly similar, where all they have is one little field, though for the background transition node, if I select one, you get a little preview here. You don't get one for the audio, obviously, because you don't want to hear music whenever you select something. So this is just a little field that you can put in a new song track into. So the last type of node we can create is the dialogue options node. And this is very similar to our regular one, except we have a button up here called add option. And we can create as many as we want, but I'm going to create two. And let's have the first one be yes and the second one be no. And here we can connect this to anything that we want. You can see that we can connect this one to here, connect this one to here, and that can act as the next node if we hit the yes or the no one. So using all these tools, I'm going to quickly create a new scene. Alright, so I created a new simple dialogue graph with branching dialogue. And so I'm just gonna move this down just a bit, and I'll walk you through what's going to happen. So first, we're going to have the start, and the default and the background music are going to be set up here. And we have some dialogue here, and then there's going to be a choice between these two options. And then no matter what you pick, it's going to transition the music. And then she's going to say stuff, and then you have another choice, and then the end will be over here. So let's see how this all works out in action. Alright, so just like that, you can see that we have background transitions, music transitions, and we also have dialogue options too, all working and functional. So let's say you wanted to change something really quickly about your dialogue. Well, you can just go into the resource folder, into the dialogues, and here we have YouTube 2, the one I just made. I can load the dialogue, and here it is. And so if I want to make a quick adjustment, let's say I wanted to make another option, I can just hit add option and say we can just make this a new background transition, and I can select something else like the futon room and just call this futon room and connect into here and have it connect to over here. And now we have this third option, and I can just hit save data, and then I can close this and it'll ping it for me. And I'll mute the audio so that I can talk to you guys while I do this. And you'll see here that when she asks if we want to go somewhere, there's now 3 options. We have the futon room now, and I can select the futon room and it'll take us to the futon room, and just like that we're able to have a third option really quickly. Alright, so that about wraps up the current features that Visual Novel Maker has to offer in its current build, but there will be more to come. Hopefully my easy plug-and-play dialogue system has piqued your interest, and it'll be coming out soon on the Unity Asset Store. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.